Okay, so while I'm still at it, I'm gonna show you something more. So, as you could see on the previous video, the front bumper was copying the livery that's set in the mapping of the side, in fact. So I think that in one video I can show you why it caused this. If you want to quickly remove that problem, you will just follow the steps, and if you want to correct it, you will follow it too. So to do so, to find out why it's like this, you're gonna have to go in your vehicle files and you're gonna locate the livery mask folder. So here you have a ton of swatch pins. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in the model tool and no, not model tool, for the text studio, and you're gonna go to swatch pin editor, and here you're gonna open them one by one. So you locate them here, you click on the right side, you Control C this to copy the path, you click here, Control V, enter, and it's gonna show you all of this. So you can all get open like this. And what you're gonna see here is textures, and what they are is in fact the extracted mapping of your vehicle. And what you want to do is go one by one, go to save as whatever, PNG, DDIG, PJ, that's up to you. And you save them all in one folder. And when you do it, when this will be done, the goal is to go, for example, on paint.net here, okay, and you will open them all. And I don't think that I have all of them somewhere, but what I'm gonna do is just open the result that you want to get. Oh no, let me show you actually how to save them all and like how it's gonna look. So let's go for PNG, and there I'm gonna go in folder and I'm gonna put it as last, so that's whatever, and then you just go through all of them and you save them as PNG in this folder. So now what you're gonna do is, if you don't have it, you can download paint.net. That's what I use. It's a cheap and not that well made version of Photoshop. It was made to like add other tools than Paint, the regular Paint that came with Windows before, add like new stuff, so like with the layers here and other things. And what you're going to do is go on File, you go on Open, and you select the mask folder, and you take every single thing. So you can, with the mouse, select everything, just Control A and Open. And it's gonna go and open a big, I mean, it's not a big, but all the image that you have. And what you're gonna do from there is you're gonna create a new image of the scale of what you have. So here you see that I go on the rectangle selection. I select everything by drag and dropping the mouse click from the top left to the bottom right, and I just press Ctrl C. And now what you can do is Ctrl N, or just go on File, New. That's the same thing. And as you copied already one of the things, you have the proportion that you want to have. And why we do that is because we want to have everything stick together. And let's say that for this new that we get a black background so that we can see clearly what's outside everything. And then you're gonna go on each images, select all of them like this, one by one. You can do it, you don't have to do it right away. Copy, go here on the new image, press here, add a new layer, and then you Control V that thing. And the last thing you do is go on the magic wand here, you select it, and you click on one of the black area and you hit the del delete button. So you don't see it there, but if you remove the background here, you see that what remains is the red part, and that's what you want to have for each of the images that you have here. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. So again, bam, 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 just like that. And just like that. So this is the final thing that you should have. And if you can visualize it from a game perspective, you have this part is the left side of your car. This is the top one. This is the right side. Here is the front and rear bumper. Here you can't really like imagine it, but it's a wing. And those four things are the windows. Front window, back window, left window, and right window. Why would they do that? Because in-game, this is what I think that I found out. I have talked to somebody in the Forza modding Discord, and he's not sure about it because he did it another way and it worked for him. But as long as you import a vehicle from the 3D viewer here, when you export it to Blender, I think that the mapping is broken. So if you don't know what a mapping is, I'm gonna show it right away. It's gonna be easy. So this is a mapping. Okay, so in fact, it's a copy of each part of the vehicle in 2D. So when you go on the part here, you see that you got a lot of dots and stuff. And when you go on the UV editing tab here, you see the exact same thing of the part here, copy pasted in a 2D view. So for each part, you can see that here, this side is in fact this side on the left, so it's the left side. If I go in the other side, just like that, I can't see it, but if it was rotated by 180 degrees in the proper axis, and I can't really do it right now here, but let's say that I maybe, yeah, just like that. So if I go, no, it doesn't work. So if it is like this, you can see that it fits this one. So this is the right side. And if you go to the roof position here, if you select only the roof on the left, you will see that it will showcase the roof on the right on your object. So these are just projection of the part of the vehicle in 2D. So in each sides like this and the opposite, but in another angle and on the roof. And this thing is just one thing that they added. I don't know why in the other side you don't have it. It's somewhere else. Oh yeah, it's here. Okay, so yeah, no, it's logical. So in fact, this here, you can't really understand it why, but in the image, when you take it, you might figure out that we have something here, and that maybe this position of this thing is in fact the sides around here. So you can figure out this way that this is the rear bumper and this is the front bumper. So it means that in some logical way, this mapping is somewhere in here on this part, okay? And the best way to make it matching to check if this is how things are done is to try to take an image of this thing and place it here to see if it works properly. So to do that, we need to take the piece that we have and we need to create this texture. So that's what we're gonna do right away. So to do it, as you can see, you have multiple layers. If we can remove things, it means that we can save them, and as they are separated, so we need to join them. And to do it, we go here on the bottom, it's the middle one, and you keep pressing until everything is merged together. So now it is one picture. And what we want to do is to try to select it and scale it so that it is the same dimension from top to bottom and left to right. And to check that, you can copy the selection and try to create a new one. So as you can see, the top is 1024, but the size are 1029. So I need to remove 5 pixels from the right side. to match the top and bottom. And to do that, you can activate distal, that's the grid of all pixels, and you count the difference. So it's 5 from 1024 to 1029. You have 5 pixels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you exclude those 5 pixels. And then now what you can do is drag and drop and take again everything else. So I do it the rough way just to show you what it is, but there is an easier way to do it. So you just keep your mouse on top, on bottom left until you come to the finish texture side here, and it will automatically select the bottom one when it finds it here. So now everything is selected. So to manipulate the view, you have the scroll wheel, and if you want to zoom, you keep control pressed and it will zoom where your mouse is. Same thing for zooming, so just like that. And to do it easier, like I said, what you can do is like locate this thing, select one polygon, so you know that this is the top right, and you go to the far bottom of it, and you just keep make sure that you always select the proper one when you do that, because this picture is still big. 1000 polygons, 1000 pixels is a lot. So what you can do is select one side, go to the bottom, and now you keep control and drag and drop to keep selecting things, because if you do it one by one, it will just select things, one things, then another, then another. So now we have a 1024 by 1024. You copy it, you make a new one, and you see that it is the same dimensions when you go on new. So you just press OK, you create a new one. So it's Control N for me. That's why it creates it without me going to the file things. And then you Control V the difference. And now we have something to be based on. So what you do is like just save this thing as a new texture, and we will only use it to like know exactly where we are. I put it in mask and I be like full, I call it full mask in regular letter size. It's here, okay. And now we go back in Blender, and what you want to do is here you create, no, you open it, sorry, and you go on desktop and you locate the mask that we just created, which is called full mask, just like that. And as you can see, if I take the bumper, we have exactly the explanation of why the side was copied in the front bumper. It's because the mapping of the bumper is actually on the side of the vehicle, both on the middle front and on the side for the rear part. And we're gonna fix it right now. So first thing to do, because we have a mirror part, now what we're gonna do that we didn't is to apply the mirroring that we did. You can keep a copy of the model if you want, but if you want to just do this thing, you can just do it and make sure that you never have a problem again. So this is how I will do it now to show you. I will take one part of the bumper, which is the sides here. I will keep this one as a side. So as you could see, I've selected everything. So edit mode, press A here, it select everything on the UV mapping, on the UV editing tab. And if you want to select only something that you see on the mapping, you can just select it here. And if you want to unselect it, you can select it here. Very easy. And for the sake of making things easier, we're gonna create what's called a UV vertex group. And what this do is like when we are here, we can select something from a list. And to do so, you just press plus on the vertex group. Here, you rename it, for example, to sides, and you assign it when it's selected on your view. So what it's gonna do now is when I unselect it, okay, it's still here. When I go in edit mode, now we have 4 buttons. And if you go to assign without anything, it's not gonna do anything. But if you add something, it's gonna create one vertex group. And if you want to get back to that vertex group, you can just press select while clicking on the one that you want to select. And it's gonna just show magically on the object and on the UV mapping. So this is very important if you want to, for example, map the exact same thing at the same size. So to do that, we go on the side view. It doesn't matter which one, because we're gonna add them on the front of the vehicle and on the bumper part of the image here. So now that we selected it, we just go on UV here on top right and we press project from view. So it's gonna take this side from this view. So it is this one is the left one, okay? It's this one, this is the front, this is the top, this is bottom, and this is the back, okay? So it's gonna take a copy of each positions of everything that I've selected, and it's gonna take and make a projection of that when I press here. So you're gonna see on the left is gonna appear. Boom. And now we have a UV map for the left side. And why did I do it this way and not just select the left side and then do the right one? Because both are with the exact same size here, and that's what we want, because in a UV mapping usually everything is set on the same side. So when it same size, sorry. So when they're doing the UV mapping for Forza Horizon, they're taking every part of the same scale and they're keeping that scale on the part, so that when you do a square, wherever we're going in the view in the vinyl creator, it's gonna be the same size, and that's what you want. And that's what we want to recreate somehow, okay? So here, what I'm gonna do is first gonna place it where it should be and try to scale it to this arc here. And this is very important that we try to make it properly. It doesn't mean it will be perfect. As you can see, it doesn't completely fit the dimensions of what I have, but it should try at least to make it properly. So as this is not fitting properly what we have, what we're gonna do is we're gonna trick it by scaling it on the sides. Okay, so to do so, we're gonna just like try to roughly position where it should be. And what I'm gonna do is gonna make it so that it comes from this point, because when I scale, I want it to take this position actually. So shift and right click, like I showed before on Blender, is positioning this indicator here because I've clicked there. And now what I can do is go on top view here, and I can here in snap, oh, sorry, in left, select 2D cursor. So now everything I do is from this thing. So the movement won't be affected, but if I scale it, as you can see, it's taking this point to scale everything up and down and stuff. So on the part, you see that there is a front curvature there and something in front here. So it should be somehow something that is on this position right here on the bottom, and then it goes to the top. So the scale is somehow this, like this, but the bottom isn't properly scaled. So what I can do is try to scale so that the outside here doesn't go outside on the red part. And what I'm gonna do now is scale it down, and to do so I press Y to go up and down, and I try to match somehow here the dimension of the outside. And I know this is not like very instinctive, but you gotta imagine how it should be with this method, because this is unfortunately for now, at my knowledge, the only way we got to fit the in-game mapping from what we're creating. So the thing is, I can't properly match perfectly this part from the mapping. And it might be that because this side is outside the red, okay, that it wouldn't show in game properly when you're mapping something to this part, but we're still gonna try it. So as you saw, I scaled it up by pressing S and Y, so it's the Y axis for up. And then I'm gonna try to scale it on the Y axis so that the left thing here fit this outline on the right. Or maybe, you know what? No, we're not gonna modify, we're gonna just leave it like this to see what's the resulting game. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the front, but first what I need to do is try to find a middle point here. That's gonna be a bit tricky. And we're still gonna adjust it right after. Why I'm doing this? Because I will copy this to the other side automatically. And to do so, again, you need to be in the pivot to the cursor to place it somewhere on the middle. And now what you do is press Ctrl M and you press the Y axis and you left click. And now you can position it again somehow in the position that you were, just like that. And as you can see, like the front here is hitting the spoiler side. So if you have a spoiler and you make something on the spoiler, maybe it will like overlap and it might show something on your front bumper. And this is the game limitation, unfortunately. We can't really do something with it. Wait, what? Oh yeah, oh my bad, my bad. I just figured out something. So I wanted to copy paste the other side, but I copy paste everything. So if you want to, like when you did the left view, you want to select only the right to be modified, you have to deselect it in the wireframe here. So you're still gonna see the same thing here, but it's gonna be only one of the things. So now I do it again, Control M, Y, and boom. And now you can see it is copy pasted and you just have to adjust the position here. So that's for the sides. And now what we're gonna do is gonna select those sides and I'm gonna press H. So we can just select the front view and go in front view and create the UV by projecting from view. And as I said before, you've seen that this is the rear bumper, so we're gonna put it in the front here and we're gonna adapt the size. Just go back on bounding box center and reposition the things so that it recognizes around something like this. We're gonna do it in this position. And now the mapping should be, for now, be done. To show the side that you have hidden before, you press Alt H. And now the whole mapping is done. If you're scared or if you don't know if you're gonna make it properly, or if you see that still with the scale of your part it's gonna overlap and something copies, even if you did that, all the things that we're gonna do and importing game, and still you have something messy somewhere, what you can do is you can select all of them, scale them to a very ridiculous size, very small, okay, and you place this thing on the further left, and you don't like make it outside of this image. And why we do that is so that you get just keep the paint and you're sure that on this part nothing's gonna show from delivery. It's not the best method, but it works, and at least you can have one way to fix something that copy paste on the other parts. But if you really want to fix delivery, it's this method that you're gonna use. So now that this is done, we're gonna do the last thing. It's create the UV layers. And if we do that because the game have multiple layers of UV parts that is used for various things. And we simply want to make delivery working. So what we create is this one. So you can just put TC3, but what I like to do to be sure that at least the mapping is gonna work is that it's gonna go create, just rename it TC0, and then I'm gonna create the other ones, and the other ones are the exact same thing as this mapping that we just created. But the only thing we're gonna change is the name, so it goes from TC0 to TC4. Just like that. Here. So now when we click, we see on the left it's the exact same thing. And now the UV mapping is done for our bumper. And what we do is the exact same thing as before where you did the materials and you assign everything and check on carbon if everything is all right and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna do that and just show you the result in game of everything we did now. And here we are. So as you can see, I had a little logo here on my mapping, and now it's showing properly. So if you go in the editor, you're gonna see that it's not perfect. And to be honest, I don't know of a way to make it really perfect, but let's say that you want to add something, and let's not add something with anime because fuck this shit. But if I add okay. So yeah, you can see that the mapping of the how it's called the grill that goes on the hood is not showing exactly the same, not even on the side and stuff. So this is because we don't have a clear how can I say that? Like we don't have a clear vision of how the mask is done and where each parts are fitting the others from the vehicle. And even though someone told me once that you just have to take the part and check the UV and keep it, for me it didn't work. It absolutely didn't work, and this is the only method I found to make it working for every part. So for my livery, this is how I did it for each part of the vehicle. If I was to modify this one, I will have to do the same thing. I have no choice. And well, that's the only outcome for now that I could find for this matter, for this exact matter. But yeah, that's how it works, and at least for now, this is the only method I found to make it working. So if anybody who's modding find a better way or a more precise way or whatever to do the mapping in the game, and who find the AO stuff and such things, don't hesitate to say it in the comments or to PM me in Discord, in the group of modding, anybody to explain exactly how, because like these are the things that we don't really have control on it. We can try to understand them, but for now we can't even, for what I understood, alter any textures for, let's say, for example, the hood here. You see that they have carbon on it. So this is from the mapping, and the mapping is set so that this carbon is well done on it. I am not sure, but I know that people have altered the tile size by modifying the values that are in the part material. And that's the thing I still don't know how to do, and I'm not sure that this is relevant with the UV mapping exactly, so that the UV mapping perfectly match the size that this thing should be. But it's a thing to keep in mind, like the textures for now, as far as I know, are not working. So if you take a shader that don't have a texture and you want, for example, to add something that have a custom texture, didn't see anybody using a custom texture, to be honest. So the only thing I saw is like, for example, the carbon, you just apply the material have a texture already from the game, and then it can be altered by its size and position like this, and rotation and other stuff. But for what is like adding texture or altering game texture, I never saw any way to do it. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Like for the tutorials, we came to the point where you know as much as me for the global things. And if I discover something new or that I see how something works better than what I did, I might add something to the video or just do a correction on another video, I don't know. But for the rest, the only thing I can tell you is like be patient when you do stuff. and don't try to overdo it, making the simplest possible so that you can do it and not like try to do stuff that is how can I say that, like too complex for nothing, let's say. And you saw that like the mapping here for the raindrops is not perfect, and this is because I don't know which UV layer is using the raindrop, and I don't know which texture actually is altered by the raindrop. So it's done on the UV layers that we saw. That's obvious. So if we check the UV layers here on the bumper, I showed you that we create 5 layers. One of them is for the rain, and the texture in game for the rain is somewhere, and I don't know where it is. So if someone can figure that out, I might update the video in a way or another, or add it to another video or in description how to actually make those, because in fact it's very simple. When you want to alter UV from one layer to another, you just press the layer, it's gonna show here, you make your change. So let's say this, I want to make it here. When you go back to another layer, it's gonna modify it right away. But if you want to do this modification on another layer, you have to create that other layer, and you have to like edit the things, and then when you're gonna edit, you're gonna not show wait, why is not showing? This should show here. Like the layers should be different. Like what the hell? It's the first time they do this to me. Oh yeah, no, it's okay, because here, yeah, I know why, But let's say that this is something that we want to modify in layer, and that is on the bumper, because the other things are directly in this part on the bumper, so it can't be the same UV. But like, if I modify this one, you see, I go to the others, it's not modified on this one, it's modified. So that's how it's done. Like you modify the layer from the mapping of the part that you're doing, and if you want to alter something else, like on the other mapping of other stuff and the layers that it have, you have to select this part and do the modification on it. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you're gonna have fun and that you're gonna create crazy things, share to people or not, and that you'll be very happy with your creations. And see you.